personal favorite videos. So, and I also got some requests for it, so I figured why not. If you see me doing exactly what I just did, it's because otherwise you can hear my breathing. But yeah, I think I'm just going to talk about my trip to France that I did with some of my friends. Two of my friends more specifically. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I had the best time, honestly. I laughed my ass off. Which was fun because, as I've mentioned before, I'm working 2 jobs this summer, so it's nice to, get out of that mindset every once in a while for a couple of days. So my grandparents on my dad's side have like a house by the water by the ocean, in France. And I get a lot of comments like, "Are you Dutch? I'm not Dutch. I'm actually Belgian. So France is, well, the northern part of France is only like a 2-3 hour drive. I think from where I live to Paris is like 3 hours. So that's nice. And we were able to go. And my one friend drove the entire trip, so kudos to her because that must have been really tiring. But yeah, so we went and some hilarious stuff happened. So we arrived, and when you want to enter like the property, because it's like a lot of vacation houses on like one property, if you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like a resort, I guess. And there was like a beam that it has to go up before you can enter. So we drove, and I called my grandma like, "Hey, what's the code, And she was like, "Oh, I don't know, let me look up the code." And she calls me back like a few minutes later, and she's like, "Oh, here's the code." So we go to enter the code. Machine is just broken, like the beam doesn't move. So we're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? And there's like, next to the beam that has to go up, there's just a part you can drive through, but normally, like, the cars from the other side would be coming through that part. Does that make sense? Anyway, and she's like, "Yeah, just reverse and go through that part." But my friend had already driven like too far, and it's not an automatic car, so if she wanted to go back, she would first have to go to the front like a little bit before she could reverse. But if she was gonna do that, she would hit the beam. And so we were like, shit, what are we going to do? What are our options here? So we kind of decided, okay, saw a car that was from the license plate was from the Netherlands. So we were like, okay, let's just try and find their house, ring the doorbell, and ask for help. Because essentially we speak the same language, just a different dialect. Now, I speak a little bit of French too. French, but not enough to explain this whole situation, you know? So we were like, great. What? The fucking church bells again. I swear, will it ever end? Anyway, so we were like, okay, great. Let's just try and find their house now. My other friend was like, you go ahead and do that because I'm a little scared. So, anyway, I try and find that house. I ring the doorbell. No one opens the door. So I'm like, okay, shit, you know. Then, like, we just kind of stand and wait there and I'm like trying to figure out what we're gonna do. And like 10 minutes later, this guy comes out of the house. And he, in this Dutch accent, like, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but everybody knows that, like, Dutch people have a thick accent. Like, any other language they speak, you can hear they're Dutch. So he comes out of the door, and he's like, bonjour, on this funny Dutch accent, like, bonjour, which is not how you say bonjour, you know. So we start speaking Dutch, and we're like, yeah, you know, we explain this whole situation, and we're like, can you help us push this beam up so she can go forward a little and we can reverse? Now, this guy was hilarious, I swear. I don't know if it was the Dutch accent or what, but now he was just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? But in Dutch. And yeah, and then his other friend comes out of the house like 5 minutes later. Now, mind you, these guys were like max 25, so they were like in our age range. Well, a little older, but whatever. And he's like all confused, and he's like, why are you talking to these girls, and what the fuck is going on? So his friend is like, yo, come help push this beam up. And these guys were so nice. I swear, they were like motivational speakers. It was hilarious. So my friend was like, well, do any of you guys want to try? Like, and he was like, no, because what if if there's any damage or whatever, which is understandable. But they were like, come on, you can do this, just put your mind to it, whatever. And we were just, the four of us were pushing this fucking beam up as high as we can. This beam was making all sorts of noises, letting us know like, yo, I'm gonna break it any second now, but we didn't care. Like, we had to go and be able to reverse. And this guy asked my friend, like, how long have you had your driver's license, because this is kind of sus. And my friend was so embarrassed, but you know, it wasn't her fault. It was just really, really funny. So we were standing there pushing this beam up as high as we could, all kind of rooting for her, like yelling like, come on, you can do this, you know, just put your mind to it, you know what you have to do. We're pushing this beam up as far as we can. And lo and behold, she did it, and it worked out, and we were able to go through the other side. But it was just so funny, and these guys, they were hilarious, and they were like, oh, are you just arriving, blah blah. We were like, yeah. expecting for our match to just, begin. And after that one, but like 9:05 hit, and they still, like, it still wasn't airing, so we were like, that's kind of sus. So I go up and I ask the lady, and my best friend's like, hey, are we allowed to watch the match here? Like, is it gonna come on? Like, what's going on, And she's like, girl, we're closing in like 10 minutes. And I was like, what? My dumbass, well, our dumbasses didn't think about there still being a curfew in France for like restaurants and stuff because of, well, we all know why. And so we were like, oh shit, because in Belgium, the curfew is 1 a.m. So it doesn't really matter, But apparently in France it's like 9:30. So yeah, that sucked, and we ended up losing too, which sucked even more. I don't know, like, no offense to any Italians out there, but y'all played 30. Seriously. I don't know what we did to you, and you guys were you're always trying to win time. So that was, y'all played a little nasty. You have to admit it. And yeah, it ended up being 2-1 in favor of the Italians. But yeah, I don't know who I'm gonna support for now. I don't know. France and Germany are already out. I think maybe Switzerland or Denmark. I don't know. Not England, because, they've won too many times before. So I'm thinking Switzerland or Denmark. I went to Denmark on like an exchange trip with school once. But I also have family that live in Switzerland, so I'm kind of torn between the two. We'll see. Oh, sorry, I got a notification there. So yeah, anyway, and something else that was really cool was, well, we went to this little market one morning, and it was near the beach. So we ended up sitting on the beach for a while, and I noticed that there's like a cliff, like not that far away, but we didn't really know how to get there, But my one friend is like, oh, there seems to be stairs. So we decided to climb up the stairs, and like purely on intuition, we ended up getting to the cliff, and it was so pretty. The view was incredible. And then purely on intuition, we walked to our car back. Like, it was crazy. I don't know what was going on, but our orientation was seriously like great. But yeah, anyway, so other than that, and the weather was so weird. One day we went to the beach because it's just like a 2-minute walk from our place, and it was so like cloudy. It looked like we were on a different planet. Seriously. It was so weird. Like, it really kind of was like we were on the moon or something. Like, we were all talking about like, this is really giving like we're on a different planet vibes. Like, it was so strange. And then at night, at like 9 or something, all of a sudden like the sun was shining and it was hot out, and we were like, what is going on? Because it had been cloudy the entire day. Like, we were on the beach in the clouds. Like, was fine, it was fine, it was fine, it was fine. We had lots and lots and lots of like car jam session. Yeah, sorry, my iPhone storage was full. But yeah, anyways, go check out my other video that I just did. I know it's only like 6 minutes long, but I don't know, like, if you guys are like into the concept or whatever. But yeah. Oh, I never ended up finishing that last story. So, yeah, we had lots of car jam sessions, and overall it was just really, really fun. And it's only like 2 or 3 hours away, so we were like, wow, we really have to do this more often, you know. And we can also go with like more friends, because in total there's space for like 7 people to sleep. So yeah, we kind of decided that. What in the world is that sound? Is that a bird? Yikes. He sounds possessed. Possessed. Anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and like I said, I would really appreciate some like feedback on the last video, which is like an ASMR sing you to sleep, but I only did like one song. And if you have any suggestions, please do let